KDC Building and Civil Engineering was established in 2012, and we do general construction, a lot of works with the Department of Education, with schools and that. We also do housing schemes and just general refurb works as well. My role is I'm the director, I'm the owner of the company. First one we did was about 12 months ago, and we've done 2 since. So. Yeah, well, the main benefits for installing it over, or the insulation foundation over a standard foundation, is that you basically would have less trades, whereas with a traditional foundation, you're digging for foundations, then you're pouring concrete foundations, then you're doing rising blockwork, which you want the blockwork for, and then you're prepping the slab, and then you're putting in the radon. Well, sorry, the radon is going, but you'll have less trades, and the insulation foundation seems to be a faster method. Based on what we've installed for the end user, I'd say they'd have a better insulated foundation, and I'd say you'd have less issues with water ingress and that, DPCs and all that as well. Well, the installation process basically is you strip the ground topsoil, and then you dig down to reduced level, and then you put in your fill as specified by the engineer, and then there's a blinding layer that goes on top of that. So I think from installation wise, the biggest thing that we found is to make sure that the base materials and your fill materials are level before you start installing any of the insulation, because if that's the best place to spend a bit of time on, because if that's level, you'll have a lot less hassle trying to trying the insulation together, and place the insulation. Once you have that done, the insulation, it joins all together like basically in a jigsaw or like Lego, and you get ready then for your plumber then, and you install the pipe work. Okay, fair enough. The underground drainage, because you don't have any internal walls, you need to get that kind of fairly well marked out from the architect. You install those then, and you basically you put in your radon, and you put in your pipe work for either underfloor or traditional rads, and whatever other services are required, and you basically pour your slab. To have this slab installed was typically just over 2 weeks. Obviously, it's going to be a better insulated foundation, and it's a lot easier to install. Like I said, because you're clearing the ground down to your reduced level, and then you're putting in your fill, and then you're straight into laying your insulation. In the winter time, you have a better chance of laying this than, because you could kind of still lay it in the frosty weather and all that, and still get it ready for your concrete. Whereas with block layers, you won't be laying blocks if there's real frosty weather and that kind of thing. So it does help in that regard. It seems to be less labor intensive as well than the traditional foundation. The main thing, and in fairness to the engineer, the first one we did, he advised us the same, was make sure that your level is correct. So when you dig down to reduced level and you're building up all your fill, make sure that is level, and like we spent a good bit of time on that, and once it was level, we were able to install the insulation very easily afterward. No, I would recommend them. They seem like a good solution.